See a lot of AI news again this week, and I have been trying to keep up with it, but I don't think I've put in as much hours as I have been in the past 40 weeks of last year that I did this on. But let's go and see what we learned this week. Okay, so AI is turning into real infrastructure, the big through line through all the videos that I watched. On one end, we've got breakthroughs that basically cheat the context window, which is unlimited context, apparently, that's what the video was talking about. And we've got other businesses where the business reality, which is compute, monetization, and power platforms. Okay, unlimited context isn't coming, it's being engineered. I love these titles that ChatGPT comes up with. So our one-line summary for this concept is, the most exciting technical idea I saw this week was you don't have to cram everything into the prompt. You can build systems that recursively pull context on demand. So this is covering more about the smarts built in at the model level and the agents themselves, where one of the changes was, instead of stuffing your context with your MCP tools and servers, depending on how they'd be created, which then uses a lot of the context is like the tools are given to the models as a quick reference lookup, or it can look up and see what's available when it's needed. And then from then it can then go and query and get the information it needs for that specific request, rather than stuffing everything into the context and hoping for the best. And really, for those who don't know, the context it's effectively your prompt limit. So how much information can a model handle before it can't handle it anymore effectively. This has been there from the start of ChatGPT 3, which was 4,000 tokens. You're now up to 200,000 tokens, and there's some that say it's 1 million tokens. Then there's OpenAI and Anthropic are starting to introduce their own method for caching output or input, so that you can have this data that's consistent in multiple chats if you're building a product effectively, not just in like ChatGPT. Because when you're sending messages to the AI and you're building into a platform, you're gonna have a prompt that says, you are a X and you do Y and this is Y, blah, 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 blah. If that information can go into the cache, you can keep sending it, but because it's identified it in the cache as it's being processed, it doesn't have to process it every time, which means it's now cheaper. But stuffing that with as much as possible is gonna be a problem, because we're still gonna run out of context. That's just the way it works. Apparently we have context rot is the term for it. I did not know that. I just thought I've heard of AI slop, but not context rot. So MIT have coined the term recursive language models. Instead of stuffing 1 million tokens into the model, you offload text into an internal environment, such as Python, and you let the model query it. That's how they're choosing to test their process of allowing the model to query. So it will have tools which you can then go and look up files or execute functions which give it more data. So this is more towards the direction of how we need. It does need to be more of a lookup rather than here's everything and hope for the best, because there is a problem with how much we can shove into these things. And then the more you put, the more expensive it gets as well. For those of you that don't know, there are a lot of benchmarks where they just do a needle in the haystack test, which is stuff the context with as much as possible, and you tell me the one line that's different. Find a specific word, like give it an entire novel and put in some random characters and find that specific random character. If you can do it, it's done a good job. The monetization error is here. That is right. ChatGPT is introducing ads into the chat feed. Apparently in, I think it was October or November, on X/Twitter, people were talking about seeing ads tested in their feed. OpenAI is like, no, you're crazy, man. There's no ads in here. But then it's true. They were testing it. They were showing it to certain users. Apparently, they are not going to provide your information or chats and your context into the advertisers themselves. It is more going to be part of a feed chat. So it's more of like an intent. So you're interested in headphones, and you'll start getting ads in headphones. You'll not get the information about what you're asking, what you've told it, who you are, how you use it will not get sent there. They will be clearly labeled as ads. And apparently they're separate from answers. They will have no influence on the response at all. Effectively, it's ChatGPT doing its thing. And then at the moment, I'm starting to get a lot of, when I'm doing research on products or things, photos of the items, those may turn into the ads, which are a similar item. Instead of showing me the photo off a website, they've got that space they used, which will be paid for instead. Why is this happening? Well, economics. Apparently only 8% of OpenAI users pay for it or something, and even less pay for even the pro version, the $200 a month. There's a lot of free users and it costs a lot to operate. So this is how you monetize free product. You put advertising to a product that people use for free. If you're not paying for something, you are the product you are being advertised to. They do have 800 million people using this weekly, so they're gonna blow up with ads. And apparently, I think one of the videos mentioned that if they make as much money as Meta makes off ads using their user base and how engaged they are, they'll be making $60 billion a year from advertising alone. So what does that mean to Meta and Google ads in this space? Because organizations only have X amount of dollars, marketing dollars to throw into buckets. Where is that money going to come from? Is it going to be new money, or are they going to pull it from those existing buckets and affect the revenue of those other companies? Really, it's not going to affect the feed, which hopefully it doesn't, because you don't want ads to affect it. That's the reason we're using this, is because it's not affected by something that's being gained. It's not SEO'd or ads. OpenAI strategy looks like classic platform scaling, expanding compute, grab users globally with a cheap tier and then bundle into the enterprise. That's their playbook. Their loss leader currently is the free plan, so they're monetizing that, covering that with a new thing, and then really they're looking at all this video, just a lot of numbers are recorded here, which I'm not going to go into, which is about the growth of OpenAI, how much more compute they need, how much money is invested, what they need to do. Again, things that are just repetitive online. If you watch everything, it's always talked about. The OpenAI versus Elon conflict. This video was an overview of the problem currently facing with OpenAI and Elon Musk and the court cases, how Elon Musk didn't start, I think he joined them, coined the term, donated money, and now he's trying to prevent them from being a not-for-profit organization to a for-profit organization, which I know we've mentioned many times before in these videos. The big problem is this almost seems like a get-out-of-tax-free card, where you can accept donations and then get to this massive scale where you can then start making revenue, and then all of a sudden you're now a for-profit company, foregoing all the taxes you would have had to have paid earlier because you were a not-for-profit company. And this is some sort of a loophole to get around that. And I think that's going to be the biggest problem at the moment. It's not that they're shifting from one to the other. It's that it will set a precedent for how a blueprint or a playbook really for how companies can be a non-profit organization, use all the money, avoid the tax and get a benefit from it, and then from being a not-for-profit and then move into a for-profit, foregoing everything that just happened. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but there's a lot of talk around that. And then Jensen Huang was talking about the AI platform shift. Again, it was another talk, one of those AI engineer talks, where saying that it's like AI infrastructure is a 5-layer tier. There's energy layer, there's the chips, the cloud services, the AI models, and the applications. And that's the applications where the economic value shows up. So everyone can use ChatGPT and they're paying it, but the actual value for everyone else is in the applications that are specifically solving problems for their use case with a specific workflow, dedicated knowledge and concepts there that are created by people in the domain that know how to solve these problems. And that's really where there is value at the model levels, but it's going to be many multiples higher value generated at these other levels of people developing apps. They're not GPT wrappers. Their A is actually thought and effort and workflows put in to make something repeatable and work well for people who don't know these areas. So what is talking about here as my closing thoughts is just something for me to think about. If we had to summarize the week in one sentence, what would it be? Well, it's AI hardening into infrastructure. Technically, recursive systems and scaffolding, economically, that, and lawsuits governing platform power. So there was another video I watched last night, which I didn't actually get processed because I forgot to share it to my bot, he was talking about like how every country should have AI as part of its infrastructure. Your electricity, power, your water, gas, roads, cabling, telephony, networking, whatever that is, plus AI. You can now run your own AI and have open source models and build things and support it so you can use it. So you've got some independence and some autonomy in how things are working, and bring the benefit of that product and that AI that's tuned to your language, your culture, your country. So you get the benefit of it and it works for you. Like that's another approach that everyone's thinking about, how AI is going to be deeply ingrained into everything, is its infrastructure is going to be core to whatever we do. I would struggle to not use it anymore. And I think most of you would too, for the thousands that are watching. So it's another interesting week. I'll try and get into this a bit more, but I don't know if it's just AI overload over the last few years. Just having a quick look as I watch this, so I can check on the computer and see how many videos I've listened to and processed in these. So it's 624 videos since April last year on AI news up until now. That's a lot of content I've tried to process, and I'm just trying to ease back into it because it's not easy to keep up with this, and that's the whole point of doing this. So again, shared for the team, so share it for you as well. Might as well, if you're making a video for my team, might as well make it for everyone else on YouTube, and hopefully someone else can get some benefit from it. So until then, good luck keeping up with everything.